Hello, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Heavy Metal Tones for the year of 2023. I hope Christmas was good for you and you had a safe and festive new year, that the hangovers were worth it, and that you can see the old year out and the new year in. Here at Heavy Metal Tones headquarters, we had a relatively quiet New Year's Eve. It was lovely. Couple of bottles of very nice vintage wine and some expensive champagne later, and I don't remember too much until I woke up the next morning at about 9. So it was a good night. It was a really good night, actually. A lot of fun. Played some Mario Kart and watched a few cheesy movies, listened to some music, which was great. Anyway, so first episode of the new year. All I want to say is I hope that this new year is better than the last. It wasn't a bad year, was it? It was just not a great year either. A lot of sadness with the passing of the Queen, Russia invading Ukraine, sort of life getting back to sort of normal, sort of. Also, by the way, I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm here in Canberra, so if you hear thunder, it's not me doing some clever work with the effects, it's actually the weather, all right? Anyway, what I thought we'd do this year is look at this episode, use it as a sort of a stepping stone to look forward. What's going to happen for the year, for me and for everyone else? Oh well, not everyone else. So if I could see what everyone else did, I would be great, wouldn't it? No, I'm just going to see what the year's going ahead here in HMT headquarters. So, firstly, I want to look at the future of the podcast. So, it's bubbling along. It's doing really well. I really enjoy doing it. I get a lot of good positive feedback, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of recording it, and get sitting there and come up with ideas, what to talk about, particularly the longer, more sort of involved review episodes and some of the history stuff. The last few weeks have been a bit hard for me here because my father's illness is getting a little bit worse, and I'm preparing to go back to the UK for a few weeks to visit him for the last time. He's elderly. He's very old as my dad, and so it's been on my mind a bit, really. And then of course you've always got I work in an environment that gets busy at Christmas, and so your mind's on that as well. So future. So I've just hooked up. Well, I said yes to start jamming again and playing with a couple of musicians to do some cover versions of stuff on bass. I have been twiddling my thumbs. They're all ahead of me by about 2 weeks, and I've just been sort of dragging my feet. Basically just covering, like, we're doing a couple of Killing Joke songs, we're doing Bowie, T-Rex, Talking Heads, all that sort of stuff, right? Nothing heavy, because the guys that I'm going to play with don't listen to anything heavy, although Killing Joke is quite heavy. So, that will be interesting. It's interesting that the pieces of music they've chosen are all bass heavy, like the David Bowie track numbers are all Jaco Pastorius or Palladino on bass, and they're like genius. It's like, how am I going to catch up with that? It's been 20 years since I played in anger with another man, so that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's been a little while since I've picked a guitar up and played with a bunch of guys. I usually just play on my own, so it'll be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to that. And there's another few irons in the fire. Someone else wants me to play with them, and they're like doing porcupine tree stuff, and yeah, it's interesting. It's nice to be in demand until they hear me play, and then they'll go, "Don't come back again," I'm sure. Anyway. That's that. Also, I'm looking to do looking at a Patreon outlet for the show to just help pay for, because I pay about $40 a month for the hosting for the podcast, and whether it's not a lot of money, it really isn't. It's just not over the course of a year. It's just nice if I could sort of make it a bit more viable. I'm going to start doing merch, and I want to, probably do a YouTube channel and so on. But that takes time and money. I am thinking about doing a Patreon channel. I just don't know whether my content is sort of thing that people want to pay money to listen to. Please do come to my website and to my Facebook page and let me know. I mean, I would love to know what kind of thing you'd like to hear. I mean, deep down, if the world was correct and you could do it legally, I would do Patreon episodes where I would do a playthrough of the song, then talk about the song, then play through the song and talk about the song. Unfortunately, copyright rules forbids me to do that. I can do it if I buy the rights to the song, but to buy the rights to the song, I think on average, I looked at doing Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and for me to buy the rights to play it through was something like $500. And it was like, it's beyond my pocket, unfortunately, for the show. So I will look into it. If I can get shorter segments, maybe that might be the way at looking at doing it. I also want to upgrade my mic. My laptop needs upgrading. It's coming to the end of its life now. This is not for you guys to worry about. I mean, the show will go ahead. If the laptop dies, I'll buy a new laptop. That's just the way it is. But I was just thinking I might look at going and doing that. So it will probably be ad-free. It'll probably be released, this released on a Wednesday, and as normal, the Patreon might get the episode on the Monday instead of the Wednesday, because I record on the Monday. Maybe you get it 2 days earlier, ad-free. I don't know if people would want that. If that's the case, brilliant. Then I only have to record one show and you just get it cheaper. I'm thinking of sort of one price point only, like $5 a month, flat, done. I don't need any different tiers. I don't have that kind of sort of time, really. Maybe we could do one-offs. Maybe we could do, because I do censor myself here language-wise. So maybe we could do that. A little bit of that. We could do some phone-ins. I'm thinking of doing a live quiz, Heavy Metal Tones quiz. See if anyone wants to come and listen to that. Being on the other side of the world, it's a bit tricky. Time zone differences, but anyway, so that's what I'm thinking of for the future of the show. Again, we'll see how we go. Let's see how it sits. I just feel that might be the way. If I release the program on a Monday instead of a Wednesday, and you get it with no ads and sooner, fine. If that's your kind of thing. Anyway, looking forward into 2023. There's some really big albums and big bands coming out. I'm going to I'm going to click things down and do weird things with my computer as we talk. I want to write this down, but there was so much of it that I couldn't actually... where are we? There we go. There we go. I'm just going to click on here we go. Right. Tappity is what you come for. That's what you come for. Now, I found I can get up to August, so up to May, I think it is. So, new albums come in for the year to come. Before we do that, let's talk about where we're looking at, what kind of any big things on the horizon. I think what I'm looking for is more shows, really, now that, apart from what's happening with China at the moment, more international acts coming to Australia. I'd love if I could sometime in the year look to booking Varken for the following year, because that's my wife and I's 30th wedding anniversary, and if I can persuade her to come along to a major metal festival in Germany. Shit, you never know, right? You never know. Interviews. Bang, bang, crack. Sorry. I've got some interviews lined up. I'm interviewing Mike from Metal Ruse sometime in Jan. That will be a tester, because I don't want to line up some big acts, and I've got some big names that are willing to chat to me, and it's exciting. I don't want to give it away because I don't want to spoil it, and then I go to interview them on Skype or wherever it is, and I don't know how to edit properly and fuck it up, and then it ends up I'd end up looking like an idiot a bit. So I'm going to do those. Mike's the big one first. I'm going to get Benji back in. We're going to do some more historic-based ones. That was a big hit when he was here last. He's got a lovely voice for radio. I've got a few others I want to line up. He doesn't know it yet, but Matt I'm trying to get him on the show too. He's the biggest Iron Maiden. He's got the biggest Iron Maiden collection I know of anyone, and I'd love him to walk me through his collection. That would be a really nice chat with Matt on the show there, and then possibly as I said, Patreon stuff. But yeah, more live shows I think for 2023. I'm not going to say peace and love and mankind crap, because it ain't going to happen. We're humans. We make some terrible human mistakes, and that's the way it is. Maybe some live stuff. Maybe I might do a live show, a stream it live, and see how we go. That could be interesting. Who knows? I'm trying to tee up some podcast doubles with some other music-based podcast shows, so we can sort of do some interviews with them and cross-platform them. That's on the cards, written down in my to-do list. I do want to get around to finally, hopefully, I've got a huge record collection. I would like to get around to doing, as my original plan was, once a month, a dive through my collection, grab a record, and then talk about it. I think that's probably going to happen if I can squeeze it in. There's so much to talk about, so much to get your head around. So let's move on to what's coming musically. I keep knocking the mic. Sorry, guys. What's coming musically in 2023? So this is purely from a Wikipedia page. Nothing exciting. I haven't got massive insights to the industry. I do have connections, but this is just stuff that I've sort of looking at. So in January, which we're in now, guys, would you believe it? January 23. We've got some. Okay, the big names for me are Obituary, Catatonia, Steve Vai, and Uriah Heep have got albums out. Obituary, the new album is Dying of Everything. Now, those that don't know who Obituary are, they are an American death metal band formed in Tampa in Florida in 1984. They basically are one of the sort of founding members of the Tampa Bay area death scene. They really, really are. I mean, I saw Obituary 90. I'm thinking 1990. I think at the Hammersmith Odeon. I really think, if I remember rightly. This will be their. Let's have a look. This will be their 13th studio album, actually. And the last one was 2017, so some time ago now. So a big gap for them. I think because the world is changing when it comes to the death metal scene. There's so much in it. It's so varied that it's difficult for a lot of these bands to feel valid and to feel wanted in the music scene. I think that what they don't realise is a lot of people out there really love them and are looking forward to hearing them their stuff. There's no information on it really. All I've got is that it's released in January. That's it basically, and it's called Dying of Everything. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm over the COVID references in modern music. There is a point there where you go, look, I know we've lived through it. It's a thing that every single person on this planet experienced, but it's not something that you always want to then go back to, right? It's sort of move on a bit. Yeah, we know about it. We've been there. Move on. Catatonia. Now, Catatonia are one of those bands where I think I like them, and then I sort of, because I love progressive rock, as you know, and Catatonia are a Swedish progressive rock band from Stockholm, formed in 1991, and they're sort of like the cornerstone of that progressive death metal scene. So, and that's a difficult. And this is their. Well, let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13th studio album that you come here to listen to me count, right? The 13th studio album, the last album was in 2020. This now is Sky Void of Stars, is 2023. It's a difficult. I find progressive death an interesting medium genre, because death itself is quite progressive in itself, and then what do you do when you progress in death, right? I mean, I think all they're doing is, I think like anything with progressive music, it's more about the musicianship of the protagonists over the style of music that's played. So it's, you know, whereas you and I, or maybe, you don't know, you might be talking to musical geniuses out there, but myself, if I was to play death, it'd be heads down, bums to the wall, as fast as you can go, right? Whereas and as heavy and as nasty as you can go. Whereas the progressive death stuff is a bit more technical. They're using much more interesting chord shapes and time signatures, and they're a bit more than just the brutality of death, like the deicides of this world. They're a bit more. They're not easier listening, because some of it's hard listening, right? But it's just got more texture, I think is the right term. So that's coming out. That interests me a lot. There's a couple of good progressive death metal bands releasing stuff in the next few months, actually. And then you jump from that, and you got Steve Vai. Now, I have to tell you that this album name, I don't know if it's going to change, but I saw it and I thought, oh, there's a very bad album name. It's called Vai Gash. Now I don't know. There's some people out there listening to this around the world where the gash is not a rude word. Where I come from, and where most people in America and the UK and Australia, gash is a name for, you know, lady garden. You know what I mean? Something that we and men don't have, women have got, and I don't mean integrity. All right. Yes, that's coming out now. You know, what can I say about Vai? I mean, I've seen Vai. I saw Vai with White Snake at Donington in 1990. It could be 91, 89 or 90. God, no. Anyway, that headline. It was amazing. It was the first year he played his 7-string Wizard of Guitar. He is an amazing guitarist. You know, Passion and Warfare is one of my favourite albums. You know, does it go on? Yes, it does. Is it a bit too guitar wankery? Maybe. Does this? Oh, there goes the thunder. Does the sound get a little bit too widdly diddly? Yep. But you know, people love that, and if they love that, brilliant. And he's got his place. He's a technical genius. Sometimes with technicality, you lose originality. You know, I was watching a brilliant Guthrie Govan tutorial on YouTube. Now, if you don't know who Guthrie Govan is, he's a wonderful guitarist, British guitarist that's been around a long time now, and he plays with Stephen Wilson. He does his own solo stuff. He's with the Aristocrats. He's just a genius, an absolute genius. I would highly recommend you going to his YouTube channel and watch him play. But he said this wonderful thing. He said that, you know, there are people out there that can watch an album, listen to the Tool album, latest Tool album, and play it note perfect all the way through, you know, straight away, within one listen through. But then you ask them to improvise and to use a bit more of their originality. They can't. They're completely stuck because they need to be told. It's like the way when I play computer games, right? I like first-person shooters, but I like structured stuff. Tell me, go there, kill that, move on. I don't really enjoy open-world stuff, and this is because I get lost and confused. Old man moments, right? It's an old man thing. But you know, it's the same with this stuff. It's the same with the music, and I find that stuff like that is a little bit soulless sometimes. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, right? Hang on, where am I at? My computer's thing. Okay, so, you know, that's... I'm looking forward to it. Like, I like Vi. I'll see how he goes. I mean, a couple of songs and I might get a little bit bored. But it might also it might send me into raptures. Who knows? This is the beauty. This is why we're looking forward to it, the stuff that's coming out. I mean, the stuff I'm picking here is just some of the bigger names. There's going to be, there's so much. I just put on the review list for the Metal Ruse stuff. A lot of stuff's coming off of Transcending Obscurity, the website label from India. Man, some of the stuff that's coming out of there is just, it'll blow your mind. Do me a favour. I'll put a link into their website. Go and look at the stuff that's coming out of there. It's the future of extreme metal. I think just in general, just the quality of the artwork, the quality of the production, the t-shirts. I mean, it's the merch. It's just beautiful stuff. It really, really is. And they're also home to my favourite band at the moment, which is Heads for the Dead. So go and head out there and have a look. Anyway, back to my list. Where am I? Back is my list again. Okay, come on. Where is it? All right. Nope. Here we go. Yeah, so that's Catatonia. Progressive stuff, brilliant. You might enjoy it. Sky Void of Stars. Okay. And Uriah Heep. I mean, Uriah Heep are like the grandfathers of heavy rock, right? I mean, I'm not going to go on about Uriah Heep. There are Uriah Heep fans out there. I've got my friend's father, who's in his 80s, absolutely loves Uriah Heep. And their albums come in Chaos and Colour. It will be another Uriah Heep album, be another classic heavy rock album that you can park yourself in front of it and just enjoy the fantasy of heavy rock and be taken away in the ability to play great music. And they've done that for 50 years almost. Just brilliant. Without them, a lot of bands wouldn't exist. So it's nice to see that they're still going strong way back into 2023. I'll tell you, let me click on their link. I'll tell you when Uriah Heep formed 1969 in London. There you go, right? That's some time ago. They have sold 40 million albums worldwide. 40 million albums. I like that whole, I might even do a whole episode on that genre of heavy rock. The Badfinger, Uriah Heep, Free, Deep Purple, all that kind of stuff. It rocks my boat, So it's actually, what is it now? It's 56 years. No, yeah. If they formed in 69, so that's 54 years old. That's a long time to be going. Now, there's not all the original lineup, I'm sure. But what a fantastic achievement, really. What a fantastic achievement. And there isn't one album, I don't think, that doesn't work, Really, really, really good there. I think just a brilliant, brilliant achievement. Anyway, on the back of that, I'm going to go and warm my tea up. It's really sticky and hot and humid now here in Canberra because of the rain's come down. For those who want to know, summer finally arrived on Christmas Eve. Then I head off into the cold winter of London very soon. So that'll be an interesting experience for me. I haven't travelled overseas in 20 years. So anyway, there you go. So enjoy the adverts. I hope make a note. Some of these stuff I'm going to come back to some of this stuff when it's released and we'll do some reviews of it and see what we thought of it, right? Anyway, talk to you on the other side, guys. Bye for now.
Say hello to a new era of mental health care. Cerebral is here to help you achieve your mental wellness goals with professional therapy and medication management support. 100% online. You'll experience the all-new Cerebral Way, an innovative approach to mental wellness designed around you. You'll get a personalized treatment plan from a therapist, prescriber, or both in a safe and judgment-free space. Your Cerebral therapist or prescriber will outline a customized plan with clear milestones along the way, so you can get to feeling your best. Sign up today at Cerebral.com/podcast and use code ACAST to get 15% off your first month. Offer only valid on monthly plans. Other exclusions may apply. Offer ends April 30th. See site for details.
Welcome back to part 2, guys, of the looking forward into 2023. I'm also looking forward to getting some gigs over in the UK. I've got evening with Stephen Wilson. It's not music, but it's a interview. I'm going to a recorded interview with him, and we get to meet him afterwards and chat. And I am very, very excited. That's at the Beggars Banquet in East London, and I'm excited. Near Brick Lane Markets. It's 3 hours of music nerdiness, and I'm going to be in seventh heaven. I really am. I'm going to get a new album of his. Well, not his new album, but he's helped put together a prog sort of compilation album of the greatest songs from the most important songs of the genre. And I'm going to get a signed CD and a chat when I'm getting to meet him. And I'm sort of really excited about that. I'm going to see Girls' School and Alcatraz the following day in Camden. I'll just grab some gigs wherever I am, whatever. If I see something there, I'm going to see it. Anyway, of course, then we've got the Metal Festival here in Canberra when I get back, and that's going to be really fun. There's so much on that at the basement. So much. There's over 2 days. I'm going to be jet lagged, but who gives a fuck, right? It's going to be so good. It'll be good to catch up with friends after being away for a couple of weeks. Right, so let me get back to this. Right, so where were we? There we go. I was talking about Uriah Heep on the beginning of that. I'll go back out there. Clickety click, baby. See all this love you come for the sound effects. So where were we? We left off at Uriah Heep in January. So February is a really busy month. We've got quite a few popping up in there. We've got Dream Theater, but it's a compilation album, so not really. It's a compilation of demos. So no. The one that stands out for the most for me is In Flames, their album Foregone. It's their 10th. I think it comes out on the 10th of Feb, and it's their 14th studio album. I went to see In Flames at the basement in a big killer free night of In Flames, Haunted, and Witchery. Now, we didn't have a good time with In Flames. We thought they were pretty poor, which was sad because they're one of those bands where you go, oh my god, it's In Flames, like the Swedish, they're like my god, sort of the founding fathers of that particular genre, of the bang crash wallet, what a picture, hitting the mic again, of the Swedish heavy metal, death metal subgenre. Look, at the time it'd been a long night. Witchery were very hard to beat. When they came out and did Nosferatu, my God, it was unbelievable. What a night that was. And the Haunted were brilliant as well, right? And they were all swapping musicians because some of them. I think there was a problem with the bass player from Haunted. Someone had died in his family. Sorry to hear, and he had to go back to Sweden. And just In Flames were a little bit, as Benji put it, why wear a baseball cap inside when you've got long hair unless you're going bald? He didn't like it at all, and I sort of was with him there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still looking forward to the album because I still listen to their albums. I just think that particular live performance wasn't that great. So that's the big one, I think, for Feb. Let's hope that they sort of are keeping with the same sound as the previous album because that was a cracker. Apart from that, then you've got... I'm looking and I'm not being... Oh, okay, yeah. Then you've got Steel Panther. Steel Panther release their album On the Prowl. Now, the one thing about Steel Panther's album On the Prowl that's releasing in February, it has some interesting people on it. We've got Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction and Dee Snider, obviously, from our favourite stupid makeup band. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. Come on. Do I have to tell you? Do I have to spell it out? Come on, who is it? You're all calling out? Twisted Sister, I hear you shout. Yes, it's Twisted Sisters, Dee Snider. So look, they could be a redeeming factor. I went through my Steel Panther phase. Yes, saw them about 2, maybe 3 times, a couple of festivals, one separately in Sydney. My mate Dave, good old Dave, who I was chatting with him today, he was wearing a Soylent Green t-shirt. Good on you, Dave, mate, fantastic. He got his name in the album because he pre-ordered it from JB Hi-Fi, which is a store in Australia that sells like computer and music and stuff, and he got his name in the booklet. Look, to say that I think that Steel Panther is one-dimensional is an understatement. I feel that time, that moment has gone. It really has. Why did Bad News and Spinal Tap work? Because it was a moment, right? There was a moment where you can have a laugh at hair metal bands and the misogyny of hair metal bands and the whole Sunset Strip thing, and then guys wearing makeup and looking like women, and having sex with everything that moves and sniffing anything that's white and isn't, and that will get you high and all that, and booze and it. There is a point. Yes, we do. Sorry, here when I'm going to say this, but we do whistle along to Asian Hooker and Glory Hole and stuff. Yeah, it's funny. And then it goes really, really boring, to the point where I can't tell you, it's so boring in my opinion. It's so one-dimensional. So that's a big name coming into next year. I didn't listen to the last one. I just didn't. I don't wear the shirts. I've got 3 or 4 of them. I don't wear them. I can't remember the last time I put on a Steel Panther album. In fact, it was probably Balls of Steel, or whatever it was, when it came out. Oh, no, it's not true. I think I listened to the last one fractionally. But it's just a bit one-dimensional, guys. If you love it, fine, be my guest. If that's the kind of thing you love, brilliant. I just think it's a little bit, basically. So for me, the pick, from what I can see on this list, for Feb, really is In Flames. To be honest, I mean, some stuff on there, but no. Then we get into March, my birthday month, the month where I turn the big 50, huh? A very good and very interesting album is coming out, and I'm very excited by this particular album and by this particular band. I'm very sad, and suddenly I didn't take the opportunity to see them when they played in Canberra at the Basement. I was like, oh no, I'm not interested. I've got other things to do. And that's London's very own progressive black metal band Haken, Haken. They're coming out with a new album, Fauna, Fauna. They were formed in 2007 by multi-instrumentalist Richard Henshaw and guitarist Matthew Marshall and vocalist Ross Jennings. They are crazy. They're like my favourite outside of Neo Obliviscaris. As it comes to progressive metal bands, they're just real fun. And what fun's the wrong word? I'm not saying fun. They're intense. They're really intense and very, very clever. There's keyboards. Their mix is really. The mix is really. How do I say? It's quite doomy in some places, quite sludgy in some areas. It's also quite. It's a movable feast, because it goes from sort of really intricate, interesting, strange 10/8 time signatures, 16/4, whatever, and then it goes to sort of like really straightforward balls to the wall rock and roll, and then it's got this sort of modern metallic progressive sound. I loved it because one of their albums was released on my birthday on March the 18th back in 2016. I was like, well, it was a good present. I really enjoyed that. They've had some ups and downs, some people leaving, which it might change the sound. I don't know. We'll see. I still think that Mountain, the 2013 album, was a corker. 2016's Affinity that came out on my birthday, I really enjoyed. Virus was okay. Again, Virus. Is it really aimed at the whole COVID thing? Who knows? It probably was. I listened to it and I think it was COVID connections. I I may be wrong, guys. You might be shouting at the speakers going, there's nothing to do with COVID, you wrote it before. And they probably did. It's just shooting at fish in a barrel, you know, when it comes to that for me. Yeah, it was announced during the pandemic, so I don't think it was probably written about the pandemic, but, you know, Prosthetic, which is a brilliant song on the album, I really, really loved. It was, you know, they had collaborations. They were going to have collaborations with Jeff Hanneman and Robert Fripp. Jeff Hanneman died, sadly. Robert Fripp was too busy. It is, yeah. It's a fantastic, very progressive. Getting Robert Fripp, if they could, onto that, you know. Hey, but anyway. So that's the album I'm looking forward. Probably the ones I'm looking forward to the most. So in the early part of this year, I think it's a Hucken album. I'd love to see them live. If they were going to come back here, that'd be brilliant. But if I'm overseas and they're there, I'll see them. They're well worth it. If you're in town and they're playing, and you want, you know, gold standard progressive death metal, they're extreme metal. They're the guys to go to. Really. And then you've got, I mean, Frozen Crown. They're a good German. Are they German? Oh, hang on. Pardon me. Italian power metal band, sorry. That might be worth a bit of fun. They do some great stuff. Chelsea Grin. I've got a friend of mine who likes Chelsea Grin. Hardcore American. You might enjoy that. The next one's come out in Suffer in Heaven. Deathcore, sorry. I always get that sort of grindcore, deathcore stuff mixed up. It's a little bit beyond me, deathcore. It's not the music. It's the, I don't know. It's that look. It's that, you know, cut off cargo pants just beyond the knee, big chains, chunky shoes, and a propensity to sort of just run around in a pit smacking each other. And look, if you like doing that, all well and good. But when I go to a gig, I want to watch the band. I don't really need to think I'm going to end up in hospital. You know, even when I was younger, I wasn't really into that shit. I'd pogo all over the place. But then when you pogo and you're just jumping around pushing, these guys sometimes want to actually hurt you. It's just a crazy stuff. It's not really me. I said the music's all right, sort of. It's a bit new metal-y for me. Anyway, but that could be a possible interesting one that's coming out there. What have we got here? And that's, you know, for... Oh, Neo Obliviscaris, of course. I mentioned them before a couple of weeks ago. Neo Obliviscaris' new album comes out. That's going to be really exciting. Exul. That is gold, platinum, triple gold, standard, progressive, extreme metal from Melbourne. They're touring at the moment. I'd love them to get to Canberra. My God, guys who are listening to this show, Tim and all you guys, please come. You've always come here before. Fantastic. That is an album I'm going to get. I'm going to turn the lights on, turn the lights off, put my expensive noise cancelling studio headphones on, and indulge myself in an hour of beautifully written music. And then, so we move into April, and I've only... Okay, see, the one that's going to overshadow everything in April is Metallica's 72 Seasons. Alright, as I said before when I reviewed the single, I thought the single was lame and soft and I didn't enjoy it. It doesn't mean the album's going to be the case. It might be a nod back to influence. It might be something absolutely, you know, sickeningly fantastic, and then I have to then eat my words and go, wow, what an album. And you know what, I hope so, because as I said, Death Magnetic I thought was a double album of poo. I didn't really enjoy anything. When I said poo's the wrong word, I thought it was just bland. It was like Maiden's coming out with a double album. Shit, we better get another double album out. They're never going to be in the same sphere as Maiden. They can't, not anymore. They've lost the plot. And sadly, because you know I love the band, I truly do. Up until the Black Album, we've discussed this before on the show. Not going to go through it again. So that will overshadow everything that's released. Unfortunately, like Powerwolf released an album in May, you know, Interodium. Why bother? Well, not why bother, that's not true. Please release everything you can when you can. But it will get sort of swallowed up. Every media outlet will be Metallica, and so be it. They have a huge media machine, and they will gobble every minute they can on every moment of and every section of written word in the music media will probably be that album. I'm not going to rush to listen to it on day of release. I'm not going even to order my copy. I'm just going to wait till I can stream it, and if I like it, I will get the hard copy. But yeah, some it's a shame that it's going to be. Now these albums, I'm just cherry picking from the list I've got. Okay, that's April, and then that's it really for what I've got in this particular piece of information. But there's some really interesting stuff that's coming. Bands with albums in production. This is really exciting. This is the sexy side of it, guys. This is where it gets sexy. Okay, this is what I'm really excited about. Accept. I'm going to read them out. Accept, brilliant. Ace Frehley, Acid Rain, Airborne, Alice Cooper. Well, dear Alice, could you please maybe think of stopping? Because the last album was an absolute atrociousness. It was, if you want your image to maintain and your heritage to stay the same. I know you've made albums that people don't listen to are brilliant, and thank you, Benji, for getting me onto them, like Dada and things like that. Really, really great albums. Is it Dada? Oh my God! See, I'm sitting here, my brain goes into old man mode, and I have to, let me just look at his discography. This is what you're coming for. Discography, you're coming on. Come on, you know that's what you want. Yeah. Because he did a load of albums, didn't he, in the 80s that no one listens to, that Benji absolutely loves and got me listening to, and I really like it. Let's have a look. Right, where are we? Let's go back and have a look. Right, studio albums. Zipper Catch Your Skin and Dada, yeah. They're the two albums that Benji likes to listen to, and I genuinely think they're pretty good. I really like Raise Your Fist and Yell as well, and I don't mind Trash, because Trash does sort of take you back to being at school or just leaving school, but Detroit Stories was a shocker. An absolute shocker. But anyway, we're not here to review that. We're just here to talk about that stuff that's coming out. So, where was I? Yeah, Anthrax again. Go through phases of Anthrax. Pass up getting a ticket to see Anthrax with Public Enemy and kick my fucking self on that one. That would have been amazing. Artillery, our friends at Artillery. Well, we saw them live here in Canberra, their very first Australian tour. Went backstage with them. They're bloody lovely guys. Benji's in contact with the band a lot. We did a little 40th anniversary video for their webpage. Go and have a look. They're sort of like heritage man. Brilliant. I highly recommend them. And then we got Batushka's got a new album out. Now they're touring, hopefully they're going to come to Australia. That's what they're saying they are next year. That's what they're saying on their webpage. But they said that last time it didn't turn out. I want them to come. I want them to bring the church of their church of black funereal dirge doom. It's going to be amazing. That it will just blow the walls off the basement if they come here. And even if they don't play the basement, they're going to play Sydney. I'm going. I really am. And then you've got Candlemass. Now, really, for me, there's only one Candlemass, and that's with Messiah Marcolin. You all know that I saw them live. I don't know whether the Swede Doom Giants, what their lineup is for this new album. Let's have a look. No, on vocals is Johan Langqvist. Do you like that? Johan Langqvist. I did it. Hey, Swedish listeners. I'm hoping that it was as good as the last album. I thought the last album was a bit of a cracker. It was a bit of a quiet giant, a sleeper there, that one. If none of you have have listened to the last album, but the last album was the Door of Doom, which I thought was a brilliant album. So hey, let's see if they can replicate it. So that's exciting. And then we've got Children of Bodom have come out as a live album. Chuck Billy's doing a solo album. Dark Angel. Oh, that's gonna be. Deaf Angel, Deicide, Deaf Clock. Come on, who doesn't want to be a Deaf Clock? And if you want to jump into some classic metal from the 80s, you've got Dokken and Doro. Europe are releasing a new album. I always feel that Europe, if they hadn't had to go to, because in Sweden you have to go and at 18 you have to enter the army, the tour of duty sort of thing. And I think had they not done that, they would have been one of the biggest bands in the world. And I think, I know that everyone, Final Countdown is one of those sort of quiche singles, but the actual album is really good, and it's actually a very good album as well. Exciter, Exodus, I've got Guns N' Roses, but I'm going to set it quiet. Jagdpanzer, they're a great band. They've got some stuff coming out. Judas Priest. Now that, come on now. Who doesn't want Priest? Very, very hard to follow Firepower. Very, very hard. And then Camelot. I saw Camelot here in Canberra. I'm not a massive fan. It was a bit... look, Dave loved it. Power metal, it's great. It was enjoyable. She can really sing a tune. Not my thing. King Diamond. Wow. Can he hold the falsettos? Can he do it? Let's see. The album's called The Institute. I think it's been delayed a few times, so that will be interesting. And then we got Lita Ford, and if you want more classic metal, and Living Colour, man, that I was always in awe of the bass player from Living Colour. I used to think it was amazing because they were and I'm not saying this to say racist, but a black band or an ethnic band, African American band that played heavy rock and heavy metal. It was like, for me, was quite an astounding thing. And Doug Wimbish on bass, just really credible. Now I think the original bass player, but I mean Alex Mosley, that's who I'm thinking of, and just sort of. Actually, no, I think it's Jerome Harris. There's a couple of them. Anyway, the bass parts on the original band lineup were crazy, and I always thought that sorry, I'm going to try and get back to where I was. I do this. I tab out of things, and and I go, where the bloody hell was I? And all these tabs are open, and I close them. So what was I here? Living Colour. Yeah. So that's really exciting. I think that might be something that would be worth jumping into. I'm just going to click on it again and just to make sure. See, so it means heavy metal, funk, jazz, hip hop, punk. They just were a good mix. They were a really good crossover band. I would like to have seen them with the Beastie Boys. That would have been a pretty amazing lineup, wouldn't it? Right? Doug Wimbish. That's the bass player I'm thinking of. Anyway, moving on from that. So then we've got Lordi. That might be fun. Man of War. Now, how are they going to go? Loudest band in the world at one time. My mate Mark blew his eardrums listening to Man of War. Put his head to their bass speaker and what crazy Mark did that stuff. Merciful Fate, Metal Church, Morbid Angel, Morbid Saint. My God, guys, what a year. Nile, Nita Strauss, Obsessed, Onslaught, Overkill, Possessed. I mean, this is big stuff, really big stuff. Sacred Reich, Sadus. This is stuff I'm Sodom. I mean, it's Suicidal Tendencies, not my thing, but people love it. Symphony X, not my kind of thing, but people love it. Violence. They were meant to come over and tour, weren't they? Hopefully they're still. I would Sacred Reich. Sacred Reich are still coming. I don't think Violence are coming with them. prong, if you that kind of thing. There is a certain prong fan base out there. It leaves me completely cold. Same with helmet. I always think of prong and helmet in the same sort of genre. Cro-Mags, if you like some hardcore New York stuff. But again, you know, wow, what a year. If that all comes out next year, I mean, it probably won't. It'll probably be mixed for the year after, some of it. But if that all came out next year, we'd have an audio avalanche of wonderfulness, from extreme to classic heavy metal, I think. Anyway, that's the list. That's the lineup. I think I'm only quickly scooting over those things, but Morbid Angel, you know, wow. I mean, that alone is worth the wait. You know, Metal Church, Merciful Fate, Man of War. God, it's just going to be crazy. This Kill Switch Engage, but I honestly, please shoot me now. Every time I go to a gig, they seem to be there. And every time they go, they overrun. And every time I want to see the headliner, they're eating to the headliner's time. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I just don't do it. It doesn't do it for me. Yeah, Nile. Those that don't know Nile, they're a death metal band from Greenville, South Carolina, formed in 1993. They know how to be extreme. I think they're one of the most extreme bands I've ever seen live. I did see them with Deicide. I didn't see them with Obituary, I don't think. And I saw them. It has to be at least 17 years ago, and just thumpingly heavy. And everything's in A drop tuning, so you know it's clever and distorted and dystopian and morbid and dark and aggressive and violent and thunderous. It's just everything you love. I love Nile as a band. I think they're gonna please come out if you're hearing this. That you're just so worth it to listen to. Not a massive discography for a band that's been around that long. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 albums before this next one's come out. Amongst the Catacombs of Nephra Ka, 1998. Please do yourself a favour and jump into that one. I might even review it, I think. Those Whom the Gods Detest from 2009. At the Gates of Sethud, 2012. You can see what their lyrical storylines are like. It's very ancient Egypt and pagan imagery. It's just brilliant. So that will be one for this year if it comes out. It will be indeed. That's the wrap. I think there's a few things I may have missed, guys. There's definitely stuff I haven't mentioned because I just haven't. If I did that, I could be here till midnight tonight. Well, as I said, jump onto my page, Heavy Metal Tones Facebook page, and let me know if you'd like to do Patreon. I'd love the feedback. Let me know what albums you're looking forward to coming out next year that I've mentioned. Is there anything this year that I've listened to that you want to say was amazing? Let me know with your top 5 albums from last year, and your top 5 gig moments. I don't mind. I'd love to hear those. Again, I feel like I'm back into the swing of things. Last couple of episodes were a bit tough. They probably came across that way as well, sounding. I don't know. Hope not. I always try and do my best when I get in front of the mic. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed talking about what's coming. I'm looking forward to the future and the year ahead. Whether we have bad times or good times, the year ahead is the year ahead, right? We can't get away from it. It's coming. Let's hope that the war in Russia finishes soon, that the COVID outbreak in China, the poor buggers that they're going through that, eases off quickly, and that we as a species finally get round to not being assholes to ourselves. But hey, it is what it is, I suppose. On that note, do come to my site, have a chat. Please do review the podcast and give me a 5-star first one, so I don't mind. No one seems to want to do it. If you're listening and you do listen, please do that. It just gives me more coverage, more people listening to it, more people access to it. Probably in the next, it won't be now, but when I get back from the UK in March, I will do end of Feb, early March, I will probably do my Patreon channel and start that up. Anyway, talk to you soon, guys. Have a cracking week ahead of you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Keep safe, and we'll chat next week, guys. Bye for now.